There are places in America where history refuses to stay quiet, where every street has seen blood, betrayal, and something that never left. If you ever find yourself traveling through these cities, don't just look around. Listen, because the dead are still talking. One Savannah, Georgia, the city built on graves. They call it America's most haunted city, but Savannah isn't haunted, it's possessed. The cobblestone streets look beautiful by day, Spanish moss swaying, southern charm everywhere. But once the sun sets, the air changes, cold, heavy, watching. Under those streets lie thousands of unmarked graves, victims of yellow fever, duels, and slavery. Whole neighborhoods are built on top of the dead. Locals say at night, footsteps echo where no one walks. In the old Colonial Park Cemetery, the statues seem to turn when you're not looking. And in the Marshall House Hotel, once a civil war hospital, guests report hearing soldiers groaning in pain, floors wet with the sound of invisible footsteps. One woman staying in room 214 said she woke to see a man in uniform standing by her bed. He whispered, "I never made it home." When she screamed, he vanished, but her sheets were covered in bloody handprints. 2. New Orleans, Louisiana, the city that dances with death. New Orleans is alive. Even its ghosts know how to move. It's the birthplace of voodoo, jazz, and resurrection. But beneath the music, there's a hum of something ancient, a rhythm that doesn't belong to the living. In the French Quarter, every brick drips with stories of lovers, killers, and spirits that never left. The most infamous is the LaLaurie Mansion, and where Madame Delphine LaLaurie tortured her slaves in the early 1800s. The screams never stopped. To this day, neighbors say they hear crying from the upstairs windows. Though no one has lived there for decades, voodoo queens still leave offerings at Marie Laveau's tomb. Candles, coins, whispers of wishes. Tourists who mock her name? They say she visits them at night in a shadow woman, standing at the foot of their bed, whispering in a language they don't understand. In New Orleans, death isn't feared. It's respected, and it listens. 3. St. Augustine, Florida, where the dead guard the shores, the oldest city in America. And it shows, founded in 1565, St. Augustine carries the ghosts of Spanish soldiers, shipwrecked sailors, and settlers who vanished without a trace. The Castillo de San Marcos, the old stone fortress, looks peaceful by daylight, but step inside after sunset and you'll feel it. A low hum like the sea itself breathing through the walls. Visitors have seen lanterns glowing in empty corridors and heard chains dragging across the courtyard. But the most terrifying legend is that of the lovers' tomb. 2 skeletons found sealed within the fort's walls, arms locked together. Historians say they were executed for betrayal. Locals say they still wander the fortress, searching for each other, whispering "mi amor" whenever lovers visit. Salem, Massachusetts, the witches never left. Everyone knows the story. The witch trials, the hangings, the paranoia. But Salem didn't just accuse witches. It created them. The energy here is unlike anywhere else. Fog rolls in like smoke. The church bells sound hollow, and shadows seem to linger even when you move. In the old Burying Point Cemetery, tourists say they feel invisible fingers brushing against their necks. EVP recordings capture soft laughter and whispers of guilty. Locals claim that at 3:19 a.m., a woman in a black dress walks through the graveyard, the same time the executions began centuries ago. Every October, Salem becomes a carnival of horror. But those who live there say, the real witches don't come for tourists. They come for the ones who mock them. 5. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where the dead still march. The Battle of Gettysburg took over 50,000 lives, and not all of them found peace. Visitors hear cannon fire that isn't there, smell gunpowder in the morning fog. On Cemetery Ridge, some have seen full regiments of soldiers walking in formation, silent, transparent, eyes empty. The Farnsworth House Inn, once a sniper's nest, is said to host over a dozen spirits. Guests report a young boy sobbing in the attic, doors slamming, and the feeling of being watched from the corner of the room. One paranormal team recorded a whisper, "We never left the field." And maybe they didn't. Maybe they're still waiting for the war to end. America doesn't bury its dead. It builds cities on top of them. And if you listen closely, under the traffic, the neon, the heartbeat of the streets, you'll hear the whisper of the ones who never left. Chicago, Illinois, the city of fire and shadows. Chicago was born in fire. The Great Fire of 1871 didn't just burn buildings, it burned people, dreams and sanity. When the smoke cleared, something else rose with the ashes. The Congress Plaza Hotel is said to be the most haunted building in the Midwest. It was once called the Devil's Hotel, where mobsters, drifters, and doomed lovers met their end. Guests report cold spots, flickering lights, and voices calling from behind the walls. Room 441 is so haunted the staff rarely rents it out. Visitors see a woman standing at the foot of the bed, her face pale, her eyes hollow, whispering, "Don't wake him." In the hotel's old basement, sealed behind a rusted door, lies a passage that once led to the city's underground tunnels. Some say it still does, and that something down there still moves in the dark. 7. San Francisco, California. Alcatraz never sleeps. The Golden Gate may shimmer by day, but by night, the fog belongs to the dead. Alcatraz prison sits alone in the bay, surrounded by icy waters and the memories of men who never escaped. Guards once reported screams echoing through empty cell blocks. Prisoners saw eyes watching them from the shadows. And in cell 14D, known as the Hole, one inmate begged to be moved after claiming a creature with glowing eyes attacked him in the dark. The next morning, he was found strangled. No one else in the cell. Visitors today still feel sudden chills, smell gunpowder, and hear whispers of chains clinking underwater. The sound fades, but not the feeling that someone is still counting the years. Even freedom can't escape Alcatraz. 8. Charleston, South Carolina, the city that smiles by day and cries by night. Charleston is beautiful. Pastel houses, ocean breeze, laughter in the streets. But beneath that beauty lies centuries of pain. This was once one of the biggest slave ports in America, and the spirits of those who suffered never truly left. The old Exchange and Provost dungeon still echoes with their voices. Chains rattle, doors slam, and visitors swear they hear whispers begging for water. One woman fainted after feeling hands grip her shoulders, though she was alone in the cell. In the Dock Street Theater, a figure in a red dress walks the balcony. Historians call her Nettie, a woman who died there during a storm in '86. Actors still leave one seat open for her, because if they don't, she makes herself known. 9. Deadwood, South Dakota, where legends never die. It was a gold rush town, built on blood and whiskey. Now it's a ghost town, literally. In the Bullock Hotel, guests hear boots stomping up and down the hallways. Sheriff Seth Bullock, the town's founder, still patrols his old property long after death. Doors swing open, glasses slide off the bar, and sometimes guests smell cigar smoke when no one's there. But the scariest part? If you disrespect the staff or the town, he lets you know. Pictures fall, lights shatter, and once, a visitor found the words "Get out" scratched into the mirror from the inside. Deadwood isn't haunted by tragedy. It's haunted by pride, and it guards its past like a loaded gun. 10. Seattle, Washington. The city, beneath the city. Beneath Seattle's streets lies an older world, the Seattle Underground, the original city buried after the Great Fire of 1889. Dark tunnels stretch for miles, sealed off for decades. Now tourists walk through them, and the shadows walk back. Guides report hearing laughter echoing from unseen corners, or seeing silhouettes darting just beyond flashlight reach. Some say a woman in a Victorian dress wanders the tunnels, calling, "Is anyone left down here?" Her voice fades, but her reflection sometimes appears in cracked glass, even when no one's in front of it. The ground trembles, lights flicker, and for a split second you can hear the old city. Shops bustling, carriages clattering, and people screaming as the flames rise again. Seattle isn't built on haunted ground. It is haunted ground. America's ghost heart. From Savannah's cobblestones to Seattle's fog, America is stitched together with ghost stories, each one a scar that never healed. Some ghosts beg to be remembered. Others just want to keep you company on the road. But one truth remains: the most haunted places aren't the ones you visit. They're the ones that visit you.